Okay, hello everyone, and welcome. How's everyone doing? DSP here, live on the stream. Welcome, welcome. I see people are joining to see honestly, my first major session of Metal Gear Solid 5 gameplay. Although I did play the game for around 2 hours last night when it was released on PlayStation Network. The majority of that time was spent in the intro of the game, which took over an hour to get through. Not surprisingly, let's face it. I think we all knew that, being that this was the final outing for Metal Gear, that we were going to see some pretty big cinematic stuff. And even though there was some gameplay, technically the entire, hour to hour and 15 minutes of the beginning of the game is just a very cinematic opening sequence. Lots of what the fuck moments there. And then I played for around 40 minutes of actual gameplay, open world gameplay, but really it was just my first taste, trying to get a handle on the controls, get a handle for what the gameplay of the game is going to be, and some nice successes and some failures there as well. A little bit of success with sneaking, and then some failures at sneaking. So, trying to get myself wet around the ears with the gameplay. So hello everyone and welcome to the stream. Yes, this will be the Metal Gear Solid 5 stream for today. It'll be between 2.5 and 3 hours of gameplay, depending on how it goes. Yes, I am still under the weather, as you can hear. Not that I'm sick per se. I'm getting over the symptoms of a bad cold, and it's pretty freaking annoying. I'm not gonna lie to anyone here. It's gonna take probably a week, I would think, to get rid of these lingering symptoms of this cold. But at least, at this point, I got past the point where I was so sick that I couldn't work. There's 3 days there where I felt terrible. Either my throat was so sore, or I was completely congested, and I couldn't work. And, it sucks, but it's also, it sucks that I couldn't work, but at the same time, I'm lucky that I have the luck to have a job that's home-based, where I can, take days off when I need to recover, and be able to come back full strength. And I'm not feeling sick at all. It's just, like I said, this congestion seems to be lingering a little bit. And yeah, you're going to hear it in my voice. You're going to hear me blowing my nose. You're going to hear it. There's nothing I can do about it. That's what I'm trying to kind of get out of my system now before I start playing the game. And hopefully, by the end of this week, we'll have completed... We'll have gotten rid of all these symptoms, right? Well, I'll have gotten rid of all these symptoms. You probably don't have these symptoms. Duh. But we, together, will be able to jump back into my gameplay full speed without having to be annoyed by these gross, cold symptoms, right? I could have just not worked all week, and then, I'll be honest, people probably would have been pretty pissed with all, the new stuff going on this week. And I didn't want to do that. I certainly didn't want to delay everything too long, and then jump in way late and have to play catch-up, you know what I mean? So FYI, for those of you who maybe haven't been around for a few days, you're jumping into the new stuff today and you want to know what's going on, I've completed both a standard playthrough of Until Dawn, then I went back and redid some decisions and did a playthrough, well, not really a full playthrough, but it was only 2 people who I had to save, and I did a playthrough where everyone lived in Until Dawn, and then just yesterday, I went all out, and I played the shit out of Until Dawn. It was about 4.5 to 5 hours of gameplay, and I finished my next playthrough of the game, which was everyone dying, which, quite honestly, in my opinion, was just as difficult as getting everyone to live. It seems that to get everyone to die or to get everyone to live, you actually have to try. You actually need, concerted effort to get it, and that's, I think, why you get a gold trophy for doing either scenario. And it was a lot of fun, and I hope that you'll check it out. I know most people checked out the initial playthrough of Until Dawn, they're not going to watch a second one so quickly. But it was a lot of fun to see the different deaths, the different outcomes, some of the personality traits of the characters that were switched around because of the choices that I had made. Delightful. And I'm happy. I'm happy that it worked out and I was actually able to do exactly what I wanted to do with the game before moving into the new games for this week. Now, unfortunately, the one thing I didn't get to do was I didn't get to review the game. You know, I wanted to play the game twice, fully, and have everyone live and everyone die before I reviewed it. And I certainly want to review the game. The problem is now I'm going to be so busy with Metal Gear Solid 5 and Mad Max this week, and the fact that this weekend I'm taking some time off to celebrate my girlfriend's belated birthday, because we couldn't do it this past weekend because I was sick, that I don't know when I'm going to have an opportunity to review the game. In fact, I might not have an opportunity until mid to late September to even put together a game review. So we're going to have to see what happens with that. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Shit happens. Originally, I was planning on doing 2 playthroughs of Until Dawn, reviewing the game this week, getting all that out of the way. And, you know, there's not much I can do. It sucks. You know, and that's life. But, you know, it is what I think anyone who's watched me play Until Dawn can pretty much figure out that I liked the game. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that there's anyone who has a misconception that I did not like Until Dawn and thinks that I'm going to give it a negative review, being that I took the time to do 2 full playthroughs of the game while I was sick. You know what I mean? So there you go. Alright, so now let's talk a little bit about today. Today's September 1st, 2015. Ladies and gents, it's the beginning of September. So, lest anyone question it, yes, the fall gaming season or the hardcore gaming season, or whatever it is that you like to call it, has begun officially as of today. And so, yes, we're going to have new games every week, new playthroughs continuing. Basically, the downtime stuff is going on hold for a little bit. Not to say that it's going permanently on hold. Alright. But the fact that I am going to be doing some of the downtime stuff, such as the Fallout New Vegas playthrough, it'll be continuing later this month. I'll probably wait a week or two before I, you know, resume that playthrough. Since, obviously, I don't want to stop playing the new games. You know what I mean? Excuse me. Before I, you know, I'm gonna do, imagine right now, if on launch day of Metal Gear Solid 5, we're just gonna play Fallout New Vegas all day today. I think some people would be pretty up in arms, right? So, the Fallout New Vegas will resume later this month. In addition, probably around halfway through the month, I'm gonna start working on the best and worst of DSP Classics montage series. I actually have to check and see what won the poll, because the poll was going to run through the end of August, and I haven't had a chance to even check the website and see what the patrons have voted on. And I'm going to check that soon and let everyone know what's that series going to be. That'll be this month. At the end of this month, we are, it looks like, fingers crossed, going to have a mini marathon of indie games, which is pretty sweet. And I want to say special thanks to those of you who pledged to my Patreon in the month of August. Yes, the time has expired. You can no longer do that for the month of August anyway. Okay, however, obviously, you know, for the month of September, I will soon, probably within a week or two, be updating all the information on my Patreon page about September. There is going to be a really cool event going on in October that patrons are going to be able to contribute and vote and nominate. It's going to be really nice. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not going to spoil. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. But I want to say thank you to anyone who did pledge to my Patreon in August. We're going to see what happens. As of right now, as of today, Patreon will begin to charge those people who pledged. And it takes about a week for them to go through everyone. If anyone has issues being processed, I'll be contacting you via Patreon. So, you know, keep your eyes and ears open over there for PMs from me. And once everything's processed, I'll let everyone know if we hit all our goal levels, which I think we're going to. And I'll start giving everyone their perks, probably as soon as next week. So it could be pretty, a pretty fun month between not only all the new releases, but a montage series, an Indies mini marathon, and more Fallout New Vegas later this month. All thanks to Patreon. So check it out, patreon.com/DarksidePhil. Not going to waste too much time talking about it now since it is early on in the month, but I did want to take time out to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Because, August, quite honestly, was a pretty dead month for new releases until the release of Until Dawn. Really, there wasn't a lot going on. And those who went the extra mile to contribute really helped me out. So it could be pretty cool. Could work out pretty well. And now that we're in the hardcore gaming season, tons of new releases, tons of new content coming your way. The wait is over. All right? So, I'm aware also that there are people who are waiting to see me start Mad Max. Okay, and I just want to let you know, yes, later today will be the beginning of Mad Max. FYI. It will be starting around 7 p.m.-ish Pacific time tonight on my second stream. It'll be around 2 hours of gameplay. Maybe I'll go a little longer since it is a new game. It's the launch of that game tonight. Hearing good and bad things about it. Some people seem to really like it, and other people are kind of saying it's not so good. I don't know. I'm gonna wait and judge for myself. Not going to have any kind of misconceptions or preconceived notions of the game. However, tonight I'm going to watch the movie. Apparently the movie, Mad Max Fury Road, goes on demand tonight. And allows people to watch it, digitally on demand. And I'm going to check it out because I didn't see it. A lot of people said earlier this year it was one of the best movies in a long time. And, I didn't see it at that time. Because I rarely go to the movies these days. I only saw a few movies this year in particular at the movie theaters. But that'll be fun because after playing a couple hours in the game, I'll then see the movie and I'll get to get an idea of what exactly, the game's supposed to be about. So that when I play again tomorrow, I'll have a little bit more background. And not to say that I haven't heard, I haven't seen the other Mad Max movies. I actually have. But I'm curious to see what this particular Mad Max movie is, being that it's been, some 20 plus years since the last one had come out. So obviously they probably did some unique stuff with it for the fact that it got reviewed so well and everyone seemed to like it, right? It sounds like there's like a 3-alarm fire next door to where I live. It's not in this area. Hold on, I'm going to look out my window quickly. I hear a fire truck. I don't see nothing. Yeah. It's actually kind of rare where I can actually hear anything from outside of my office, and I actually just heard like fire trucks, and I was like, what the hell? And there are a bunch of other homes right next to where I live here, and I was thinking maybe there's a fire like right next door, but I don't see anything. But alright, so anyway, we're about to get started. About 2.5 to 3 hours of Metal Gear Solid 5 gameplay. This will be my first opportunity to actually delve deep into the gameplay of the game and kind of formulate an opinion, and I will. I'll probably tweet about it, my opinion, after I've played, a few hours here of the game. And then we'll see. I'll continue playing this and Mad Max all week and all next week as well. So, there you have it. I really don't have too much else to say on the pre-stream. So, thank you everyone for being here. We're going to get started with Metal Gear Solid 5. Thank you. It appears, by the way, that YouTube has fixed their streaming problems. All yesterday when I was streaming Until Dawn, the stream was out of control. Like, everyone was saying the quality wouldn't stay consistent. It was jumping up and down, and it was hard to watch the stream. And the view count on the stream was, like, going up and down by hundreds of people, which made no sense. It looks like it's stabilized today. So, that's a good sign. And hopefully you enjoyed the stream. Alright? Alright, that's it, everyone. Let's end the pre-stream. Let's get started with more Metal Gear Solid 5. And I hope you enjoy the content. Here we go.